Welcome to the GCC Podcast, where we spotlight the leaders powering the rise of global capability centers in India and beyond. Today, we are excited to welcome Sushant Bhushan, a seasoned GCC leader and the current head of the India Business Center at Circle K. Circle K is the world's leading convenience and fuel retail business with the mission of making their customers' lives a little easier every day. With deep experience in building, scaling, and transforming world class GCCs, Sushant has been instrumental in aligning global capabilities with strategic business goals. From NatWest to Barclays and now at Circle K, his leadership reflects a strong focus on innovation, efficiency, and high performance teams. Sushant, it's a pleasure to have you on the GCC podcast. Welcome here. How does it feel to be talking to us today?
Thank you, Suchita. I think it's really great, and I'm really excited because, uh, like you said, it's been a journey so far, and what kept me energized throughout this journey is the opportunity to build an inclusive and high-performing team, and to shape those global strategies while staying deeply grounded in local strength. And I'm very excited to be here today to talk about the evolution of GCC models and lot.
Thank you so much. I'll just dive into our first question for you. Like you mentioned, and we've gone through your profile, you have rich experience in leading global capability centers across industries. How have you seen the GCC operating model evolve in terms of delivering strategic value to parent organizations in specific?
So absolutely, the GCC model has undergone a remarkable transformation over the years. When I started working with the GCCs, most of them were largely focused on cost optimization and process efficiency. The operating model was transactional. The mandate was narrow. The strategic values was almost incidental. But fast forward to today, I would say, especially post COVID, and we are looking at a very different picture. GCCs has evolved in center of excellence, playing a proactive role in innovation, digital transformation, and customer experience. In fact, many organizations or GCCs are becoming core to their enterprise strategy.
Yes.
So we should talk what has changed. So there are few things, or I will say typically three things in particular that has changed. Number one, I'll say trust in global team has increased. So leadership across the globe now recognize the talent in location like India, Poland, Philippines is not just about operational capabilities, but also the strategically insightful. Second, I'll say it's the technology enablement that has removed a lot of traditional silos. With tools for
Yes.
collaboration, cloud and AI has now embedded in our operating rhythm. Geography is no longer a constraint. And last
Hmm.
but not the least, the most important, there is a shift in mindset from support to ownership. Today, the India Business Center at Circle K isn't just executing tasks. We are co-creating business strategies, driving process innovation, and actively contributing to Circle K global priorities. This shift means that GCCs are no longer on the sideline. We are at the table, helping shape the future of the enterprise.
Great. That brings me to my next question, which is pertaining to talent, right? And I don't know how large the team that you lead in India, but I do know the global presence of Circle K is very large. Just to get a sense, how big is the team here that you're leading?
So I always say that we should be measured by the value, not with the people that we
That's
are
true.
having in our office. So
True.
I'm proud to say we have close to 200 people working from our GCC,
Oh,
but we have
that's
a huge
amazing.
presence in India with our vendor partners. So that number is in few thousands.
Okay. So, as the head of the India Business Center at Circle K, how are you approaching talent development and retention? Because there's a talent war right now in the market, especially when you're building high performing teams that need to be, collaborating across different global time zones and cultural, differences.
Yeah. So that's a great question, especially in today's talent landscape, because none of this transformation happens without people. At
Yes.
Circle K India, our approach to talent development and retention is built across three key principles. So I'll say it's purpose, personalization, and partnership. I'll say first purpose. So we work hard to make sure our teams in India understand how their work impact the front line. Whether it's enabling a store associate to serve our customer better, optimizing supply chain operations, or improving sustainability. That line of sight to value creation is incredibly important. So we always encourage the culture of understanding the why. That why we are doing this, we should not just execute the things for the sake of doing things. That is
True.
something which is very important in our work environment. Second, I'll say is about personalization. So we recognize that no two career journey are the same. So we have created an environment where people can grow in the direction of their aspiration. This includes technical and behavioral skill development, leadership coaching, and opportunities for cross-functional and cross-border exposure as well. We
Okay.
actively promote learning agility because I always believe that in today's world, the ability to learn fast is more valuable than knowing everything upfront.
Yes.
And last but
True.
not the least is about partnership. So when your team are working across the time zones and culture, as you ask in your question as well, so you need to invest deliberately in collaboration because we have structured communication cadences, we have developed a lot of feedback loops and custom nuance and intelligence program that really helps us build those psychological safety and mutual respect. So retention to me, it's not just about reducing the attrition. It's about creating an environment where people feel they belong, they
Mm.
thrive, and are excited about the future we are building together.
Yeah. And what, the points you said are applicable across industry for every organization, and, particularly with GCCs being in focus today in India. That brings me to something more futuristic, right? With the rise of Gen AI and automation, how do you see the role of mid management evolving within GCCs over the next 5 years in particular?
This is an area I find deeply fascinating and one
Sure.
that's already starting to reshape how we operate. So let's be honest, there is a understandable anxiety about AI and automation, but I genuinely believe that human role is not diminishing; it's sort of evolving. In the context of GCCs, the mid management will become even more critical over the next 5 years. I'll tell you
Okay.
why. Because they will move from being the process manager to the outcome orchestrators, aligning
Okay.
people, data, and tool to deliver value faster. They
Mm.
will be the change catalyst, helping team to adapt to AI augmented workflow while also ensuring that ethical use and responsible experimentation is happening at the back end
Yes.
of it.
Sure.
And perhaps most importantly, they will become talent multiplier. So
Mm.
mentoring their team to embrace continuous learning, curiosity, and resilience in an ever-changing world. The
Mm.
organization that wins in the GenAI era will not be the one with the most tool, but the one who empowers their manager to lead with empathy,
They will. Yeah.
agility, and a growth mindset. At Circle K, we have already started preparing our people and leader to shift for this shift through leadership development program, exposure
Okay.
to Gen AI use cases, and
Mm.
fostering a culture that welcomes innovation without fear. Because
Okay.
let's face it, the future isn't coming; it's already here.
Yeah. Yes. Lovely. It's great to hear your inputs on and insights on some of these things. Now I'm moving to the next section. Like I said, it's an interesting one that helps us know you more as a person, as an individual. I have three questions to ask you, and very quick responses would be appreciated.
Sure.
My first one is, are you a morning person or a night owl?
So I'm a morning person.
Okay, great. How early do you start your day?
So I start at 6 a.m. in the morning.
Okay, great.
Start with little workout and then followed
Okay,
by my early breakfast because I start early in the morning. So I reach office by 8:30 a.m. in the morning. Pretty much the
okay,
first one to enter, and then because
great.
and that's also because of the commute that I do.
Okay, great. I want to know, are you someone who'll go for a book, or would you be, someone who prefers listening to podcasts?
I'm listening to podcasts because
Okay.
I that's my commute helps me to do
Yes,
right
that's
utilizing that time.
easy.
I'm
And
more of
okay, would you like to share any podcast that you're listening to now that's changed your perspective?
so I'm recently listening to one of the podcast by Sadhguru. It's on leadership.
Okay. Oh,
So it's a very
lovely.
interesting perspective on spirituality and on leadership. So it
Leadership.
talks
Okay.
about how you can be more empathetic and how you can drive change by being more modest and more giver rather than doing the micromanagement and all sort of those things.
Great. My last question on this podcast to you is, what's your go-to stress buster after a long day at work?
So I like playing cricket a lot. So if
Okay.
I have a 15-20 minute session on nets, so that helps me get my decluttered mind to clean up. So that's what
Okay.
is my go-to thing, which keeps me healthy and also helps me to declutter my mind.
That's lovely. Lovely to know that, you have this love for sport. You're a morning person, and yes, that you are inclined to listening to something which is
Yeah.
spiritually bent on inputs for leadership. Lovely having you here with us, Sushant. Thank you so much for joining us. And We'd love to stay in touch with you and get across in future as well.
Same here.
Thank you.